Good afternoon, and welcome to this very first inaugural edition of the Hudson High School Choir Podcast. My name is Mr. Moore, Jacob, if you've graduated or are an adult listening to this podcast. But thanks for tuning in for the very first one of these. We're really excited to do this, coming to you from the podcast room. Shout out Ms. Crecilius for letting us use this room. We appreciate you very much. On this podcast, we're just going to talk about the ins and outs, the workings of choir, to not only get the word out to those students who are already in the choir program, but to get the words out to those in the high school who maybe don't know too much about the choir program, as well as our middle school, Eastwoods, really anyone in the community who wants to know a little bit more about choir, because all five of us sitting in this room right now believe that choir and the arts are an integral part of the Hudson High School curriculum, and because that they're an integral part of life. You know, the arts help us to feel, they help us to think, they help us to be more empathetic towards one another. So that's why we're here making this podcast. Once again, we thank you for tuning in. We're going to go around the room, have everybody introduce themselves. We're going to start over here to my immediate left with Italia, our vice president.
Hi, I'm Italia. I'm the vice president of the choirs. We also have Adeline, but she's sick, and she is the president of the choir. She wishes she could be here, though. Sad to be missing out.
I'm Ashlyn, the secretary of the choirs.
I'm Joey.
And I'm Greer.
And we're your PR team.
Well, and as you can hear, nobody's nervous because they definitely didn't start all of their sentences with, I'm this person, I'm that person, yeah. And I'm Mr. Moore, for what it's worth. I've already said that, but we see Italia is a senior, Ashlyn is a senior, and Joey and Greer are both juniors. This is currently my 10th year of teaching at Hudson. I cannot believe. I remember Mr. Bedford, he was an assistant principal here. When I first got hired, he said, you're going to blink and 10 years is going to go by. That was in year 2, and he was right. I honestly cannot believe it, But we're coming to you on Friday. It's November 1st. I guess the holiday season is officially upon us, depending on how you celebrate. Mariah Carey's coming out of hibernation. It's about to start.
She's broken the ice.
The permafrost is currently defrosting. But we're going to start today with just what is available for Hudson High School students. We're going to talk about, choirs that are offered, ranging from our freshmen through our seniors, as well as all of our extracurricular stuff. So I'm going to turn first to Italia. Adeline, rest up. We hope you're well. We certainly didn't, overthrow her. Well, not yet.
Watch out.
Wait, which one of these? There we go.
No, that's not.
I love those buttons so much. But Italia, there's so many classes available here at Hudson High School to choose from that it can be difficult, especially for our incoming freshmen, our current 8th graders at the middle school, to know exactly what is offered and when. So being the choir president and vice president, you being the vice president, can you talk a little bit more about the choirs offered here at Hudson High School and how they work?
Yeah, so for freshmen or first-year choir members, you have women's choir for the women and men's choir for the men. And those are like the first entry-level groups. And they're super fun. Obviously, I've been in those because I'm in choir still. And then after you get through your first year, you're able to try out for Bella Voce and chamber choir. And Bella Voce is an all-female ensemble. It's super fun. I was in Bella Voce my sophomore year, and it was a great experience. It taught me a lot. It's a bit of a smaller group, so you really get to hone in on your musical abilities and your leadership skills, because I was a section leader, which was really helpful and really helped me to grow a lot. And then there's also chamber choir, which you can audition for, and that is both men and women, and so it's mixed, and it's really fun. It's very helpful. It's hard. That's probably the group with like really hard music.
Yeah, and now these past 2 years we've had both Bella Voce and chamber choir being honor credit classes, because it truly is at an honors level the repertoire that we do in that class.
Oh yeah, the music's amazing. I've learned so much. I remember last year when I got into chamber choir, I was like, whew, okay, here we go. And like, it's crazy how much I've grown since then. It like sight reading, all like knowing the keys and time signatures and stuff. Like, I've grown so much in all of the choirs. I 100% recommend going in because it's insane. And trying out, I say try out for Bella Voce and chamber choir, and whichever one you get in, like, they're both equally amazing. So
yeah. And so those are the 4 curricular choirs that we have. Talk a little bit more about Vocal Impact, which is our extracurricular show choir.
Yeah, So we also have Vocal Impact, which is singing and dancing. It's so fun. Auditions are in May, I think, and we practice on Mondays and Thursdays from 6 to 8, and it's really fun. The group's really close-knit. We do a bunch of fun songs. We've done like a Journey show. We have a bunch of fun Christmas songs. We're doing All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Rebecca finally gets to sing Christmas.
Yeah, exactly.
Somewhere Rebecca's smiling.
Yeah. She's looking down on us.
What?
Oh, wait.
Yeah. So Vocal Impact, you can try out for from freshman to senior. It doesn't matter what grade you're in. Everybody gets to play a huge role in that.
Mm-hmm.
You focus on music and dancing. It's not like you have every week like music and dancing days. It's kind of just whatever Mr. Moore's feeling, and it's
That's
so
true.
fun. Like you really get to feel the music and have fun. You're not worried about like choral music as much. You just have to like go with it and have fun and really get to feel the group. Like we sing in the dark for our ballads. Sometimes we did Imagine, I think pentatonics, right?
Yeah, I sort of like pentatonics. They're kind of
Just
They're
a
okay.
a little bit, but yeah, we sing in the dark to really focus on listening to one another. Because what a lot of people don't understand about ensembles is it's like 75% listening. You think band,
So-
orchestra, choir, it's just about making noise or making noise. It's that's kind of a little elementary, but you know what I mean. It's about listening to one another and understanding how your part fits into what's going on with everything else around there. So.
And by singing in the dark, I've been able to hear everyone else stop singing for myself and started singing for the group as a whole. And I've felt so connected to people through doing that. And our ballads are always so beautiful, and our songs are always so fun. It's just pretty much dancing with your friends.
Yeah, it's a good time. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Yeah, I mean, I have a good time, and my experience, I was in show choir and band, and back in that time at Brexville, it was called Madrigal Choir, madrigal type of song. We didn't actually sing madrigals, but do a little bit of everything. Got a bit of the more advanced choral repertoire, and then in music and motion, MIM is what it's called, more of the pop stuff. So really kind of round out your vocabulary, if you will.
A variety of pieces that we've done.
Just a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
What does this button do? Oh, goodness. We hope you had a great Halloween. Anyway. So thanks, Italia. Appreciate that. Now, all four of you are lifelong choir students, right?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think there was a moment, or there were very few moments where you're like, there's not a chance I'm going to not do something music related or choir in high school. But Ashlyn, we know that for lifelong choir students, choir is going to end up on their schedule. They know from the time that they sign up for choir that it's something they're going to do. But what about those students who maybe don't know about us, or they have preconceived notions? Like I remember talking to somebody who said, well, choir seems like such a tight knit group, but it seems like if you don't get in on the ground floor, basically if you don't join as a freshman, it's too late. So what would you say to those students to convince them to take a leap of faith and to try something new like joining choir?
Yeah, so I actually had that issue my 8th grade year. I don't recall being informed about the choir programs a lot, especially Vocal Impact, which is why I didn't try out my freshman year. So I think one of my issues with that was because I didn't really reach out enough. So one way to really take that leap is reach out. Whether you have older friends or friends who actually know this stuff, ask them. You can email teachers. You can ask really any of your teachers at the middle school, but it is never too late to take that chance. But I do recommend trying to get involved in it as soon as possible, because I know when I was a freshman and I didn't try out for certain things, I was kind of bummed. I'm like, damn, that's 1 year gone. And I definitely think that it's important to try and get involved as much as possible. So don't be afraid to ask questions. No one's gonna be mad at you if you ask questions and stuff. But I definitely think taking that leap is really important, whether it's late or it's early, but I would recommend doing it early.
Yeah, I agree, because I think a lot of people say, I'll wait until the next year. I'll wait till my sophomore year, and then that becomes junior and senior.
And then you graduate.
And the one thing we always have, whether it be in the choir program with, sometimes we'll get junior, for junior tenor basses, junior guys who will join later because they have more room in their schedule, because they really want to do something new. And most of them, when we give the seniors the floor at the end of the year to say hey, thanks for everything and goodbye, a lot of them, they say, I wish I would have started this sooner. So, if you're listening out there and you're thinking, I can wait, you can, but there's so much that is offered that you don't know is there. So take that leap, and to hear, that you didn't, do it your freshman year, Vocal Impact your freshman year because you weren't so read up on it, it is what it is, but you missed out on that year. So it's good to hear that, from you that you're going to take that leap, that go for it. What do you got to lose, quite honestly? I think one of the draws about joining any music ensemble, but it's, choir, is the opportunity to travel and go places. Now, you guys have all gone did you all go on the DC, the Norfolk, Virginia trip? Mm-hmm. You did not? No. Oh, well, okay, never mind. You did. And Ashlyn, you got a chance when you were a sophomore, I should say, at the end of your sophomore year, to go to Ireland. Those experiences stem from my time when I was a student teacher at Bexley High School near Columbus. And I just lucked out that we had a chance to go to Ireland that summer that I finished. And I was invited and thankfully was able to go. But my thought in preparing all that is I want to give these students as many opportunities as possible and do things that they would have never imagined. Like in middle school, would you have ever imagined that you would have had the opportunity to go perform in not just one city in Ireland or in Washington, D.C. or Norfolk, Virginia, or we've gone to Disney, we've gone to Nashville, we took the chamber choir in 2019, we went to New York City for a couple of days. Like, it's something that, doesn't really happen very often. Like, we're very, 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 very blessed here at Hudson. So some of the draws being in ensembles is traveling with your peers, and you guys have had the opportunity to do so. Can you speak to what those experiences have been like for you personally, and maybe why they're so special, and how somebody who's listening right now might think, wow, I want an opportunity like that,
I can talk a little bit about Ireland. So I know my sophomore year when I was in chamber, I was like, oh yeah, I love music, guys. But then when we went to Ireland, a whole new point of view towards music, suddenly just flew into my brain. I'm like, wow, this is music is something different than I ever thought. When we performed at different places, didn't matter where, I just felt a new connection to music and the people around me. And the pieces that we sung really affect you emotionally in the best ways possible. And the fact that we got the opportunity to go to a completely different country and share our love for music with other people, it just makes you feel better, and it makes others feel better, too.
Yeah, I remember being in lines, we were at the Blarney Castle, and, some of the best moments were when we weren't actually at the scheduled performances, but we were just kind of out and about in the towns, and we would sing, some of the folk songs that we had learned, and you would see some of the local people who know those songs kind of turn and be like, wait, what? And those were the moments I was like, okay, don't get me wrong, all of those performances were amazing, but some of those, ad-libbed moments were some of the coolest.
Yeah, they were very heartwarming.
Italia, you have anything to add?
Oh, yeah. So I went to D.C. last year with the choirs, and it was, amazing. I remember pondering when it came up, the option to go on the trip, and I was like, I don't know, should I go, should I not go? And I was like, yeah, I'm just going to go for it. And I'm so glad that I did. It was probably a 3 or 4 day trip.
Yeah, I want to say we left on a Thursday morning and came back. Yeah, because we had the men's and women's glee club from Ohio State at the school the night before. Yeah, so that's right. So we left Thursday morning and then we came back Sunday evening.
Yeah, and going on that trip was one of the best decisions according to the choir program, besides trying out for all the groups that I did, because it's one thing to travel with your family, but it's another to travel with your family, a musical family.
Yeah.
We were singing everywhere we went. We would sing. I felt so much closer to countless people because we were all experiencing the same thing. We were all exhausted. We were all on the same bus together. We would all laugh over nothing because we were deliriously tired.
And when you go on those trips, you don't realize just how tired you are until you get home or you get to the hotel those first nights. I remember when we got home from Ireland, and Norfolk, Virginia, it was around the same time. It was around 6, 7 o'clock at night. And then I get to my bed, and I think I have all this energy, and then the second I sit down, and just pass out. Yeah, but it's worth all of it.
Oh, it's so worth it. Yeah. It's going on a trip with all your best friends, getting to room with people in choir for 3 or 4 nights in a row. I could literally just turn over and they were just there. And I could just talk to them.
That's comforting.
Yeah, I still have fond memories. I went to Disney World twice with the band when I was at high school, and then with the choir and the orchestra, we went to New York. And I mean, I still have fond memories of that. I remember, all this stuff, and the people that I went on those trips with, I'm still in contact with. Like life has taken us different directions, but cool.
Exactly. Like all the bonding, and Taylor Swift's new album came out on the trip. I was with.
Is that an indie artist? Taylor?
She's pretty famous. I don't know if you've heard of her, but
Taylor.
She's super
Oh,
famous.
is that Travis Kelce's girlfriend?
Yeah, he's pretty much known as her
Yeah, that's true.
boyfriend, but
That's true. She's definitely the bigger one in that relationship.
I'd say so.
I would agree.
Yeah, but when that came out, I remember everybody was talking about it in musical terms. They're like, "Oh, she goes minor," and it was a bunch of people that understood each other.
Yeah,
in one place.
you finally you put things into practice. You're like, oh, okay, now I know it. Now
Key change.
Yeah, there it is.
Key change.
Something to add to the trips. Me and Greer have not been on a trip yet, but I've heard from so many people like their lives were changed. You do not get the opportunity to be with this group of people that you see every day in a class, and you get to learn music and stuff, and be able to go on a trip with these people who you wouldn't do this with anybody else. Like they might be a random kid in your class, and after the trip, you see them completely new.
Yeah.
You do not get this opportunity almost anywhere else.
And to add to that, we even travel, obviously in the state, but like we go to contests.
Mm-hmm.
And so last year we went to, was it districts?
Yeah, we went districts at Nordonia.
And then states at Jackson?
Yeah.
Yeah. So although those bus rides were like 15 to maybe 45 minutes, except we got stuck in traffic to Jackson. But
shout out to Akron. Whenever you're gonna get that,
you cannot trust Akron.
I'm just saying, whenever I
It's a
have to
mess
go
there.
down Route 8 towards Akron, I go, okay, well, add 20 minutes on. I feel like I've been saying that now for 15 years.
The amount of times I've had to drive through that city to get back on the highway is horrid.
That's why, it's okay. It's the center of Hudson during the morning and the afternoon commutes. I always stay away from 303 and 91. Right in the center of town, and then Route 8 by Akron. But anyways, you were saying?
Yeah, so we get to go to contest, which is really great. And although it's close, like those little drives are so fun. And I remember like sitting with people that I hadn't sat with before, or like playing games on our phone, and there's so much camaraderie because you're all working towards the same thing, and to travel together to somewhere even as close as Nordonia, but to get to do that together makes such a difference. And after contest, I felt so much more connected with the group. We were sophomores, so it's a little rocky at first, but like it just felt so much better, and it was so amazing to be able to do something together, even though it was close, because we succeeded and we worked hard, and I'm just really proud of that, and I think it was a great experience. And there's nothing like celebrating together when you got something that you feel like you earned.
And singing.
Yeah, and I tell you guys all the time, my standard for the entire choir program is high. I remember when I got hired, the superintendent before Mr. Addis, Mr. Herman, it was the last interview we had. He called me in his office. He said, "Does having a good choir program make you a good teacher?" And I that question caught me by surprise. I was like, well, yeah, if you're good at your job, they should probably sound good, But the more I've kind of taught, yes, it's about the music. It's about, coming together as individuals to make an ensemble sound, and to come together as individuals and succeed as a group. I think what I'm most proud about with the contest and the traveling is, the results are great. And I'm super proud, like you guys going to Class AA, which for those of you who don't know, Class AA is basically like college level music. There's AA is the highest, A, B, and C in terms descending order of strength or of difficulty. And regardless of score, I'm just so proud of like you guys coming together as individual singers. And let's be honest, when you guys come to the high school, you could probably even think back to your first year in choir, where you are now to where you started. It's the transformation, I think, is the part that I love the most. That's the part. And
you guys, just to reiterate, this choir program is fire. Like
this girl. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh, sorry. Was that? Cover my tracks.
Oh,
was that the right one?
I'm just pressing buttons now.
You should have played Womp
this is a
Womp.
button game.
Oh yeah. Wait. I think it's this one.
There's always next time.
There you go.
But like you guys don't understand. Like Hudson is so lucky to have the program we have. I always talk to people that just our music programs at the high school are just, and the whole district is so good. Mr. Moore is so incredible. Makes the whole program what it is. Like,
Thank you.
but no, like you're truly missing out. Like it's so incredible. You are not gonna be able to get this anywhere else.
It's a big time commitment. Let's not gloss over that. It is a time commitment, but I think it's worth it. So Joey and Greer, just to move things along, this is now your second year as our PR team. You guys, for those of you who are not in the choir program, we have 5 choir officers, and they're elected by the students. I have no say in who the choir officers are. I simply send out the Google form, look at the votes, and then I let everybody know. And this is year 2, which first of all, getting elected as an officer is hard to do, regardless of what age you are. But as a sophomore is something that doesn't happen very often. And then you got reelected this year as our PR team. So we know that in this day and age, social media, public relations is, even if people don't necessarily like it or they don't have the best positive relationship with social media, because let's be honest, there's a lot of bad stuff out there. We try to keep things as positive and, as uplifting as possible. But you guys have done a great job in helping to modernize our choir program with your PR. Can you talk about your mission kind of behind the PR team, like what you see PR being used for here in the choir program? And more importantly, how can students find us on our social media accounts, and how we as a choir program are trying to bring people together using social media instead of tearing each other apart?
I think our mission is, like you said, to find a way to connect students who are in the choir program, who are not in the choir program, who intend to be in the choir program. Our mission is to show them through funny videos and through pictures that we take, through lip syncs, through memories. Like, our goal is to make it accessible to other students and to show everyone how much fun we are having and how much this music means to us. And I remember Joey and I were standing outside of Ming's Bubble Tea in Hudson, and obviously we were about to go in because we're big fans. And
shout out Ming's.
Shout out Ming's. And this girl, she yelled at us from down the street, and she was like, "Joey and Greer." And we were like, "Hello?" Like we didn't know who this little girl was. And she goes, "I know you from your TikTok videos." She was like,
"Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
I love your TikToks, and I'm in choir, and I'm in 7th grade, and and her friend, she had a friend with her who was in 6th grade, and she was like, "I'm going to tell my friend to join. Like, I love singing, and I love your videos, and I can't wait to go to the high school and be with everyone." And that just, like, being able to see that tangible reaction and how much of a difference we've made just through making silly 30-second videos, like it made such an impact on me. And that's what made, like, it makes me just want to keep going. Like, obviously it is a lot of work, and I can't lie about that. Like, I'll be up tonight editing our vlog, but it's so worth it, because when I see people deciding to join or liking our posts who would have never thought to even consider choir before, like, it just makes me so happy.
That's I can't remember if you told me that story before of someone like flagging you guys down on the road, but that's so heartwarming to see, because you always hope you're reaching people.
Yeah.
And people are like, "Oh yeah, I totally follow the page." It's like, but are you actually watching it? Like, is it doing anything for you? But that's so cool.
Yeah, and we try our best to make our social medias accessible and applicable to both adults and students. So obviously, Mr. Moore more so runs our Facebook, just because
shout out parents.
We're 17 years old.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you, parents.
We're 17 years old and we don't really have Facebook. Actually, I think Joey does have a Facebook.
I stalk my teachers on it. That's all.
All right.
Miss Charlotte better watch out.
Oh man. Heads up, teachers.
But really, we try our best to accommodate both age groups. And I think like through our Instagram, like our stories go directly to Facebook. So what you see on your Facebook stories is what we're posting on our Instagram stories. And I do recommend, if you are an adult and you don't have Instagram, I really recommend getting it and following us, because there's so much, we have so much more opportunity, and there's a lot to do on Instagram. Like you can look through our highlights, you can look through all our old posts from years past. And I just think Instagram is such a great way, and we try our best to keep our posts professional. And
you do.
Thank you. We try to make them, try to make them look good.
Yes.
But then we have our TikTok, which is like so much fun, and that's more so for the kids, and we use trending sounds, and we get a lot of likes.
We do.
And
Eric Whitaker, if you're listening, we're still waiting for you to respond.
Oh my gosh.
that one got like 5,000 views.
Yeah, that one was so popular.
That one, I mean, I'm surprised. He was in Cleveland. Okay, sorry, I'm getting on a tangent.
That's fine.
But Eric, if you're listening, you're invited anytime you like.
Pentatonics, you're
Please
next.
come visit us for singing Glow.
Pentatonics, please. But yeah, our TikTok is more so for the students, and it's just a really fun way to get everyone together. Like we can incorporate other people into the TikToks, not just officers. Like when we were working with Brecksville a couple weeks ago, we did a video with them, and it's just so much fun, and it's a great way to be creative. And I feel like we were like pioneers in that. Like I know there's people who, like other groups in the school, who started making TikToks. Like I know Yearbook recently started one. And I'm just so glad that we were able to make a difference in that.
Yeah. I mean, it's just also a great resource. Like we push out so much information. Like we always have the new newsletter, like in our bio for students. We have like our cabaret tickets are in our bio. Like we try to keep
them.
2 weeks
all
from
of this.
today.
2 weeks from today, everybody.
Buy your tickets.
If you want to see truly like what we're doing, that's the best way. Come get a ticket and come see us perform and see what we're talking about today. I think over the past, year and a little bit, we've worked really hard to get the Instagram and TikTok to a place where you can see that we are an active group who, cares and wants to represent the students that are in this program in such a fun way. Like the best way is when we see people reposting all this stuff.
Yeah.
And because we know that reaches so many more people, and it like shows like this is what we're doing. And we try to make it interactive and fun, and just reach as many people as we can, and share that like we're doing this program right now, and it's going far.
I feel like it brings so much more humanity to the program. Like I know it may seem daunting at first to step into something that you've never done before. If say you weren't in choir in middle school, or you're joining choir in middle school and you don't know what's to come, and I think that being able to share like these experiences and these activities that we do on our social media makes us seem so much more welcoming, which we are. And we just want to make that super clear to our audience and to students who may be a little scared to join, because really there should be no fear. We're really weird, happy people, and we just want you to come sing with us.
I agree. We're choir nerds. We like what we like, and we're not apologetic for it. But I think sometimes that could be intimidating. They're like, oh, you guys are so involved, or you're so into it. That it's just like, oh, I didn't want to, but dive in with us. You never know. Like
Join
the one,
us.
exactly.
Join
Google,
us.
gobble, one of us. No, but I always tell seniors who are graduating, I go, the one thing I tell you to do when you go to college is join one other thing outside of your classes. Like, it's so easy to just kind of, especially at the collegiate level, go do your classes, come home, do your homework, go to bed, repeat, go to the gym, do whatever it is you do. I didn't have to do the men's glee club. Like I had to be in a choir, but there was multiple ones to join, so when I was in high school, band, choir, music theory, I did everything I possibly could. And then when I got to college, I did that one extra thing. I joined the glee club, and some of my best friends are in that group,
Yeah.
and just people who understood me. And that's where I found my people was in choir. They understood me for me, because I think a lot of times, and I'll just speak from my experience, social media, when, reason I'm the purveyor of the Facebook page is because when I was in high school, that was the social media kind.
Yeah.
It was, YouTube was taking off. Facebook was, just kind of coming out for everybody, and it became very surface level. It's like, hey, I don't talk to you in the hall, but we're friends on Facebook. And now that I'm, 32 and not 16 anymore, I'm like, that's kind of weird, at first. And what I really like about what you guys are doing is, you're right, the humanity behind it. It's like there's only so much you are going to reach people on social media. Like before, it's like you got to come in, be a part of us. Come in during a study hall and just sit in the room and just listen to us rehearse. I know it could be intimidating, but the hardest thing to do is take that first step. Take it. Don't be afraid. Like, the only time I might kick you out is, if we're in the middle of a concert. Like, that might not be the best time, step up on the stage. But, come be a part of us,
Or if you drop your water bottle.
Josh.
Shout out Josh Carter.
Subtle shout out. Very subtle.
But no, there's so many things, there's so many things that I love about just being here, being able to work with y'all, and Hudson High School students of the past. Like, we don't get to this moment currently right here without previous high school choir students doing what they did, not being afraid to take that step. How many of you thought when you were going to join choir, like, for example, when I passed out Leonardo Dreams of his Flying Machine last year, like, you fell in love with that song, but how many of you back, in middle school or freshman, would have thought, oh yeah, that's going to be something that, I'm going to absolutely fall in love with. It's a 9-minute piece that's in English, Italian, nonsense syllables, and I have the best job in the world. I really, really do. And I spend long hours here, and, sometimes it's just like, I just need like a little bit of a break, or it's like, oh, this is what my house looks like when the sun's up. But it's all worth it,
Choir opens so many doors.
Yes.
Like, leads to so many different places. If you're going to be in choir, and if you might start to realize your voice, like, can do so many things. Like, it can go so high or so low.
Yeah.
It's so crazy what choir can do for you, and what it can, like, lead you to like find stuff. Or like, if you're in choir and you're watching the show choir, you're like, wow, I can see myself up on that stage. You're in the audience.
Yeah.
I can see myself up on that stage. You can audition and find out I'm a good dancer.
Right.
Yeah.
I eat at Vocal Impact. Like, it's like kids are singing and they're like talking about drama club. Like, this cool thing where you like act on stage and sing while doing it and dance. It's just, you meet so many new people and get to do so many things. You get to, like, music is just so incredible at the school because it leads to so many different people, so many activities, so much stuff.
Yeah. And again, jump in, figure out what it is you want to do, because just because we have, the 4 people sitting in the room have done basically all you can do in the choir program, that doesn't mean if that's not you, like, we'll take you where you are. If you want to come in, hey, I just need a period a day where I just can, get my mind off of my schoolwork, focus on just singing with other people, being contingent on working with others to form a product. Like, that's fine. You don't have to come in and then dive headfirst into, I'm going to be in the top group and I'm going to go to all these contests and I want to do this and this and this. I found that life is more about the smaller things. We look at the large, like you guys are probably, especially you two, are probably looking, college applications, and everything seems big. It seems big because it is. I'm not trying to diminish that it's because it absolutely is. But when I take a step back and I genuflect over what's going on, it's been about the little things I did along the way to get to be able to do the bigger things. So thank you. I appreciate you sharing that. We're going to move on to our last topic. Thanks again for listening. This is our first podcast ever. I kind of like this. Maybe this. I mean, if nothing else, I like to wear the headphones, just talk. Yes. I mean,
just listen to yourself talk.
Yeah, just wait. What's this button do?
Hates to say.
But we do have some events we want to talk to you about. Some of which are for anybody to come and see, and some for our current choir members just to get a chance to know each other a bit better and show off your leadership and your team building skills. But Italia, I'm going to go back to you. The first thing we have coming up here in the foreseeable future is our choir cabaret. The list just came out today, literally about 45 minutes ago for our...
Congratulations, everyone.
Congrats to everybody. It's a tough process. It's part of the job. I tell you guys all the time, I hate saying no. And if you're listening and you didn't get a spot this year, please don't be despondent. It's there are people who are sitting here that did not get in their first time to certain groups, did not get a solo their first time, and it's crushing. It can be absolutely crushing, but they refused to keep them. They refused to keep them down, and they became better for it. And that's what life is about. But Italia, talk a little bit more about the choir cabaret coming up 2 weeks from today, Friday, November 15th. At 7 p.m. at the Center in Stowe on Hudson Drive.
Yeah, it's choir's biggest fundraiser. It's pretty much a night where we showcase all of the talent in our programs. We have a bunch of soloists. We have all of the choirs perform a song. And it's super fun songs. Like this year, chamber choir is doing Friend Like Me. I think women's choir is doing Blank Space, a Glee mashup for Bella Voce, and men's choir is doing...
Men's choirs, they have the opportunity to steal the show with.
We should hide it.
They're doing... We just get to showcase all of the choirs and, like, what a family we are, try to raise money to help our programs. It's a really, really fun, like, cool night. All friends and family get to come and see. And in the choirs, we get to show our connectedness and how we all work together, but it's rare. Mr. Moore's been talking lately. Like, it's more rare to get to see the individual talent outside of, like, solos and, like, a song.
Yeah.
So we get to see the talent that our programs hold. And I know, like, I, for one, have been so incredibly amazed and impressed watching people. Last year especially, I was blown away by the talent. I was like, I knew they were good, but I did not know they could sing like that.
Yeah, it's definitely up another level, you know, and it's our biggest fundraiser of the year. We've used it to be able to do things like, was it 2 years ago already now? 3 years ago? We brought in Sydney Guillaume, who's a composer who currently lives in Portland, Oregon, but is from Haiti, and he wrote a piece for us. It's specifically for the Hudson choirs, and he came here for 3 days, and we got a chance to work with him, and he conducted our concerts. Last year, we had the Men's and Women's Glee Club, as we already said, from Ohio State, come for a day of just working with them, being able to sing with them, talk with them, and we gave a concert that night. You know, we have big plans for the choir program for next year. You know, it's a travel year for everybody. We still don't know where all the choirs, band, and orchestra are going to go, but the plan right now is to take chamber choir to Italy in the summer of 2026, do another international tour, and these things are great. They're wonderful, but they cost a lot of money. So we want to be able to continue to give all of our students this wonderful opportunity. And so that's kind of where the cabaret came from. But I agree. I love listening to all the individual talent that makes up the collective talent. So $20 tickets for adults, $10 tickets for students. You can buy at the door. However, we prefer if you would purchase ahead of time just to save it from getting too crowded at the main entrance there at the center. After that, coming up on Wednesday, December 11th, is our holiday choir concert. A little bit different from our first concert of the year where we combined all the choirs and did the Dan Forrest Requiem. So, Ashlyn, tell us a little bit more about what to expect from our holiday choir concert.
Okay, so for the holiday concert, first, we have vocal impact, and then men's choir, and then women's choir, and then Bella Voce, and then chamber choir. So it's a holiday concert. It's not just Christmas, although we do like to sing Christmas songs.
We do.
Yeah, but we sing a bunch of holiday songs. Even some of the songs we're singing, like Tabula Rosa.
Tabula Rasa, yeah.
Tabula Rasa. That's not necessarily a holiday song, but it's gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
And it is an amazing concert, and it's free, so that's an even better reason to show up. But yeah, so every single one of the choirs, they get to perform different songs, and it's a really, I feel like the holiday concert is a really good way to get together because there's so much we do with it specifically in vocal impact.
Mm-hmm. But
even outside of the choirs, like, I feel like the holiday concert is always something to really look forward to, especially because it's free.
Yeah, it's free. It's open to the public, and I'm gonna go down on record and call it out now. Hudson, Ohio, you need to get to these concerts. Not just the choir concert, but our orchestra and our band programs. Our concerts this year are usually back to back, and they are this year. Like Tuesday the 10th is our orchestra concert. We're Wednesday the 11th. Band is Thursday the 12th. All three of those are free and open to the public, and they start at 7 p.m. And the type of music and the quality of music that you guys are able to achieve in all three of those ensembles, like Hudson, let's see, I'll look at this camera, Hudson, Ohio, Hudson High School, get to the auditorium for these concerts. These kids are rock stars, and I'm not just saying that because I'm their teacher. Trust me, they'll tell you. I would tell you the truth otherwise. They will blow your socks off. Get to these concerts. They deserve to have you there. All right. And then finally, we have something new. This is for our current set of choir students. Something we're going to try different this year. On Monday, December 16th, which is the Monday before winter break begins.
The Choir Olympics. It's new and it's going to be so fire. It's basically we're going to have randomized teams and compete in different events to work together to win the medals.
Yes, the events are musically related. Some are a little further off the spectrum, like musical chairs. But it's going to be fierce.
And it's music related.
It's going to be fierce.
You better come ready.
You better watch your socks.
This is the opposite of when I say it's not a competition, but I still plan on winning. It's a competition, and
No,
we're coming.
This is a competition.
This is a competition.
There will be medals.
Okay.
Well, if you've ever seen The Office and they
worry.
do
Out of the yogurt lids?
Yes.
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 Is there going to be Flonkerton?
I think it's called a Dunder. Oh, no, wait.
Well, that's the Dundies.
The Dundies.
The Dundies. Is this something that will be choir versus choir, or are we going to
No.
have our students we're going to form some teams?
We want to create an assortment of kids who are from different choirs. So
Yeah.
we want to put some freshmen with some seniors. We want to put some girls from Bella Voce with a guy from men's choir that they may have never met before. And there's so much that you can, there's so much to learn about somebody else when you're working together in a team
And having fun.
yes, and sure, these challenges they may seem silly
A
and
little stressful.
a little stressful. You gotta study your songs so that you'll be ready for blind karaoke.
Karaoke is not for the weak.
It's not a joke. It's very serious. There's a lot of fun in competition, but
Absolutely.
our goal with this is to find another way to bring different groups together. I mean, I love our karaoke nights, and they're some of my favorite nights in my high school. Like, it's so nice to just have a weeknight that I'm at the school with people that I like, and we're singing songs and we're showing off our talent. And if we mess up, but nobody cares. It's karaoke.
Exactly.
But I think that our goal with this is at karaoke nights, everybody sits with their friends. Everybody sits with people from their own choir, and
which is awesome.
which is great. You obviously.
It's hard to take that first step and reach out and talk to somebody you
Yeah.
don't know.
Oh, yeah,
it's
for
it's
sure.
it's something that's easy, I think, to say out loud, and I'm guilty of it too. Hey, go meet someone you don't know, and then I go sit with my colleagues.
Yes.
You know, like, it's so easy, but you never know where people are, where they're coming from, where they are in their journey.
Yeah.
Right. So don't be afraid. You also don't have to go up to somebody and then instantly be best friends with
No.
them. Just, hey, how's it going? I'm Greer. I'm in chamber choir. I'm Joey. I'm dance captain and vocal impact. Like, we never know where people are along the road. So
Yeah.
don't be afraid. So this is going to be a great event.
Yes.
Something we're trying out. It's not, for those of you who are listening in choir, it's not something mandatory. We're not trying to make
No.
it, but we highly, highly, highly encourage you to be there.
We will encourage you.
Yes.
Here is your opportunity. You can't sit there and say, oh, well, nothing kind of happens, or I only know the choir. We're very, very busy people. So we're going to give the opportunities we can to get all together. So it is the Monday before break, it's going to be a hectic time, but we hope you'll give us at least, even if you can only give us an hour that night.
Yeah.
Come on by, give us what you can give us. We're not asking for everything all at once. So
just come and have fun.
yeah, come be there. So we've got Cabaret 2 weeks from tonight on November 15th, 7 p.m. That is a ticketed event because, again, it's one of our it is the biggest fundraiser we have throughout the course of the year.
And we are going to have big raffles.
There's
Our choir VPs
are amazing. Shout out Kyla and Kim.
Yes,
all of our volunteers whose
all the
names I don't
volunteers.
have right now.
That's okay.
Thank you.
But
We
they're
appreciate
so
you.
incredible, and you guys do not understand the raffles. the
Cannot do it
tickets.
without them.
No, not at all.
No.
And everyone else who helps.
It's truly like I've said it before, I'll say it again. I'm blessed beyond belief to be able to be in this community. Students are amazing. The parents are just as amazing. Like, they are so supportive in everything that we do.
Yep.
And yeah, we couldn't do it without them.
All
And
the parents who spend
be
their
there.
time.
You'll see all the work. And there's one special raffle this year. I'm not going to give away what it is,
Oh.
but stay tuned to our social media
Y'all are in
accounts,
for a treat.
because we are going to give a little bit of a hint about a week out. So make sure you follow us on our Instagram, TikTok. Parents, follow us on our Facebook page, and our website, hudsonhighchoirs.com. All of the information we talked about from our choirs, what we have offered at the high school, what we're doing on our calendars, where to find us on our social media, it's all there. hudsonhighchoirs.com.
It's truly a work of art.
It's awesome. So we want to thank you for spending this time with us on our inaugural pod. Can you believe we're already at the end? And remember when I said 10 minutes? We're on minute 50 right now.
Oh.
But we had some good things to talk about.
Choir kids are just a bunch of yappers.
We're a bunch of great, as my brother Luke would say, we're grade A yappers.
We hate talking.
You're a grade A
I
yapper.
know I'm a grade A. I know. But hey, on behalf of all of us, Italia, Ashlyn, Joey, and Greer, and Adeline, sorry you couldn't be here. We hope you feel better. Thanks for tuning in for what could be the first of many. We hope that you'll smash that like and subscribe button on our YouTube page.
Okay.
And because we'd love to continue to do more of these if this is something that you enjoyed listening to. So if you did, make sure you share it with all those people on your social media accounts that you follow. Come see us. If you want to sit in on a rehearsal, come see us. We would love to have you just sit in and listen, be a part of it. If you have any free periods, 4th and 6th are our men's and women's choirs. 7-8 is Bella Voce. Chamber choir's 9th period. If you want to come in and see what we're about, come on in. We are happy to open our doors to you. And we hope that if you're listening to this and you're at the middle school or you're at Eastwoods or wherever you might be, choir's an open door. Come be a part of us. We would love to have you.
All of our concerts are on our YouTube, so watch them.
Go see them. We got a lot of good stuff there. But on behalf of all of us in the room, thanks again for tuning in. And as always, #JoinChoir.